time to just on my introduction, I will start my presentation. I hope you all can hear me clearly. I will.
Yes, sir.
Great. Thank you very much. All right. So today is about ignite your thoughts through ideation. It's a big sentence. Innovation is the most important differentiator in any organization in the world, and innovation ignites that. And that is all comes down to us as people, because we are creative by nature. We need to tap into it and actually make that a reality. So I will start from us as people, and then how we together make an organization or a government or whatever industry, uh, and how we shape it, how we bring that thought leadership is very important in this new world and going forward. We are just coming out of pandemic or in the pandemic, and that is such a big disruption that nobody could have anticipated. But because of our creativity, innovation, and tapping onto all the medicine and all the innovation, I'm sure we can come out of that very stronger and resilient. And these types of disruptions keep coming. But the most important point is that how you adapt, how you innovate, how you are creative, how you are resilient will make you stronger and also feel fulfilled in your life's journey. So I will touch on your personal life journey, how technology plays a role in it, how you play a role in it, and the greater organization where you have a platform to actually express your creativity, your capability, makes this life journey a worthwhile, I would say. So the most important thing is you start from yourself. And Mahatma Gandhi made this a quotation saying, "Be the change you want to see in the world," is very, very powerful. Because if you have a fixed mindset, there will be a limitation. You need to be on the ball, be adaptable, drive the change, take the change, bull by the horns, and build on that as a driver to be much better than what it was or you were yesterday, or your technology was yesterday, much a better than yes, and improve on it, evolve on it. But everything comes with the mindset. If your mind is ready for anything new coming in, because generally people get fixated with the current way of doing things, and you don't want a change because it is a habit. But we have to actually work on that in our mind, because if your mind is ready for accepting change, then you can build on it. If you resist that, then resistance will create heat, and it will create certain behaviors which will block any innovation and any progress. So be the change you want to see in the world. It might be a purpose, a climate change. It could be that you are taking a rocket to the moon. These are big things of precision medicine, uh, that you find any opportunity, it has a greater impact to the humanity. And that's where it comes back to your mindset, that it is ready for a change, which is already, it's like a constant, it keeps coming. So that is one message I want to give. And of course, we have to listen to our Father of the Nation, who has brought us from the clutches of the British rule to freedom. We just celebrated our 70th of independence. You might have heard innovation as thrown away word everywhere. It's a buzzword in the marketing speak that we are very innovative, creative, and that is our differentiator, and so on and so forth. But how does that translate into a practical world? How do you actually realize that innovation to make a difference in lives? So that becomes a culture of innovating and refining and improving continuously. And when it's a culture, then the whole organization gets the benefit of it, which translates into a better product, very efficient product, a very unique product, your unique selling proposition. But that is part of the culture. It's not one-time thing. It's a cultural thing. It's a mindset thing that you are ready for change. You want to improve things. And therefore, innovation is a sort of a game changer for your organization. And you should always look for gaps, white spaces, wherever you could bring your point of view, your innovative way of thinking. And that actually expands to the whole organization, the product and the people, the technology, the structure of the organization. And I'll talk more about it going forward. So just this is the macro level view. Culture. First, your mindset. Second is culture, which is very hard to change. But that is where you should also look for organization which is receptive to innovation, like 3M. You might be saying, what more to do? I would say there is so much yet to be done. And this is a quote from Alan Turing, who cracked the code of Enigma. That was the cryptographic messages which was sent between Germany and Britain in World War II. He cracked that, a British scientist, and he has been recognized for it. So from his point of view, he said, even part of the World War II, there was a lot of gloom and doom, but he did see that there's a vision, that there's a lot of things to be done. So there is a lot of things for you all to achieve and aspire to. So keep that in mind. So starting with your mindset being ready, a culture where you can actually flower, get self-fulfilled, and to see that there is more to be done and aspire for that keeps you motivated, keeps you on the edge. And I want to use certain words which should, give you some sort of inspiration in whatever way or whatever journey or experience I have gone through. I was a boy in India, in Nagpur, and my aspiration at that time was to be a physician, but I did not get that marks to get into the medical school. And then I stumbled into information technology, and this is going back in 1984, 85. And it was very fascinating to see such an innovation that you could control the machine and make it as run it as what you would want it to be. So it used to follow the instruction, absolutely be very precise to the script, to the language, or to the instruction set. So I started in mainframe, mid-range, and just a moment, and progressed to to Mumbai. Spent a lot of time there in the mid-range, in the desktop area, and then migrated to Australia. Started with medicine, but landed in IT. I have never looked back. As you all know, every business is a digital business now. And with the COVID and lockdown, there is a lot of technologies which has evolved to say how you can work remotely. So IT is the field, I believe, is the driver for innovation. You can talk about finance, banking, telcos, utilities, medicine, you name it. At that time when I started, it was a back office thing. Payrolls, assets, taxation, and all that. Now it is driving innovation in a way that it is customer centric. You have the bank in your back pocket. So, again, you can see it from your own perspective, whatever journey you are, you have come from and you're going. I believe you are set for another 10x of growth, exponential growth, because the whole innovation was a very slow one when I started, but now it is rocketing. So just keep in mind that whatever journeys you go through, your mindset should be ready to take the change and make the best out of it, because you're going to learn on every step and then build on it. And then you can have a point of no return where you exponentially create your career to the next level. Like if you can think of a caterpillar and a butterfly, the butterfly has come from the caterpillar, but there is no resemblance. That type of transformation and metamorphosis you should be looking for. So what I want to show you or share with you is we are going through an industrial revolution, the fourth industrial revolution. We started with steam engine, we went into mechanical, machines, and then IT and so on and so forth. So I want to take you all to Davos, Switzerland. So just take your coat, wear it because it's very cold there, and hopefully you will get some insights on how the top leaders in the world are thinking about industrial revolution, which we all are going through at the moment, and what is the next 10 years and 20 years, or what are the technologies which all the developed countries and developing countries are thinking about. So just a moment. Harshal, you just let me know if this is going to play from IT support.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Yes.
Just a moment. Sorry about this, if it is slow.
Hello, sir. Sudeep, sir. Sandeep, sir.
Yep. Yep. Can you see it?
No, sir. We can't see the video.
So we can hear the audio, but you're not.
Okay. Okay, just a moment. Just a moment, please.
Okay, sir. Okay.
There's a lot. Can you see it now?
No, sir. Video is not.
No, but you can see the picture.
Yeah, the fourth industrial revolution, Davos, Switzerland, 2020, right?
Yes. Can you see the picture of the girl?
No, sir. No.
So we are able to see your PPT only, sir.
Okay. All right. Give me 2 seconds.
So you can stop presenting directly. You can.
Okay, I don't know why this is
You can
not.
see the yes, sir. We are able to see the girl is visible.
Great, thank you. All right, this is good. You're fine, Harshal? Everything fine?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Great.
meeting here in Davos in 2016. But to understand the idea, we need to go much further back in history. Industrial Revolution number one. The first Industrial Revolution started in Great Britain around 1760 and spread to Europe and North America in the early 1800s. It was powered by a major invention, the steam engine. There was lots of new manufacturing processes, the creation of factories, and both booming textile. From the late 1800s, the second industrial revolution was marked by mass production and new industries like steel, oil, and electricity. The light bulb, telephone, and internal combustion engine were a few of the major inventions of this era. The third industrial revolution, sometimes known as the digital revolution, occurred in the second half of the 20th century. In just a few decades, we saw the invention of the semiconductor, personal computer, and the internet. So what separates the fourth industrial revolution from the third? Experts say the main difference is technology is merging more and more with human lives, and the technological change is happening faster than ever. Consider this. It took 75 years for 100 million to adopt Instagram signed up 100 million in 2 years, working on low competitiveness in 1 month. 3D printing is just one example of fast-paced technology in the fourth industrial revolution. The industry has gone from a business idea to big business, with 3D printer shipments expected to increase from just under 200,000 in 2015 to 2.5 million in 2020. Today, you can have a hip replacement from a 3D printed bra, or use a 3D printed bionic arm. Talk about blurring the line between humans and technology, right? This new era of technology is driving a lot of innovation. You can see on this chart the number of patents related to the fourth industrial revolution, things like 3D printing or AI, have been climbing up and up since early 2000s. Organizations are embracing new technologies to make their businesses more efficient, similar to how they embraced the steam engine during the first industrial revolution. But some companies and governments are struggling to keep up with the fast pace of technological change. Research shows innovators, investors, and shareholders benefit the most from innovation. The risk is that the fourth industrial revolution is making inequality, which is already a big issue, even worse. One study found billionaires have driven almost 80% of the 40 main breakthrough innovations over the last 40 years. That's a problem when the richest 1% of households already own nearly half of the world's wealth. Experts warn we are in a winner-takes-all economy, where high-skilled workers are rewarded with high pay, and the rest of workers are left out. Studies confirm technologies like AI will eliminate some jobs and
Sir,
Yep.
sir, we can't able to hear anything clearly.
Okay. All right. Okay. I don't know. We will stop here. I have posted um, the website. You can all have a look at it if you can't hear it. So I will flip back to my own presentation, and then I will tell you what it was saying. Can you hear? Can you see my screen now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, great. So I wanted straight from the horse's mouth, so to speak. What we did, the driver of innovation and change, which we are all going towards, we are in at the moment, is of course the fourth industrial revolution. The first revolution was of steam engines, where there was a little bit automation from, how horse-driven carts. You're doing agriculture with old practices, and we are still doing it at the moment. And then we went into automation. A lot of mechanical looms were used. Ford started making cars in mass production, and we have actually embraced the process-oriented way of doing things. The third revolution was IT, information technology, where again, it automated a lot of manual stuff into very quality way of, turning that manual stuff into automated way of doing things. And of course, as you all know, we all are in IT. In any business you see, IT is in the forefront. Without the computers, you cannot do your business. Think of a bank with a net bank, which has become a part and parcel. And in your age, you are digital natives. You have grown up in that environment. The fourth industrial revolution is where the man and the machine are coming very close. Robotics, process automation, there is artificial intelligence, there's precision medicine, blockchain technology. So the next growth is going to come with this whole new innovation, which will drive the fourth industrial revolution. And you have to see this macro picture when you see your context and how you can be participating in that and driving that creativity and innovation to meet this in your industry or once you complete your MBA. So that's a driver, that's the trend, that's the change being driven worldwide. And all countries are jumping into it and actually reskilling their own workforce to have a proper GDP or growing in their gross domestic product, creating a competitive advantage for not only their people, but for their country. So just be aware, change is constant. Be the change, what you want to see, and then, you are in that environment, in that cocoon where innovation is flourishing and you should capitalize on it. So going on to the next slide, I just wanted to share with you, there are 4 types of innovators, and this is a study being done by Vincent Peon, and you can categorize people by their mindset and how that mindset actually translated into an organization. The hunters, as you know, whenever there is a new idea, you can take it to ventures fund to invest in it. I was reading something about India in the sense, of course, coming from and born and brought up there. Dada Saheb Phalke Award, you must have heard about it, and he was a big filmmaker. How did he get his first break? He actually demonstrated a pea plant, how that whole plant actually from its germination to becoming a full-blown fruit out of pea. He actually did the filmmaking on that particular topic and brought it to venture fund or investors and showed that you can make a film out of any topic. And that was the genesis of the film industry. So think about that. He was a hunter in his mindset. And in the Googles are the ones who are always looking for the cutting edge, the bleeding edge. So you need to see that there are certain, where you fit in this box and how you can actually go from being a builder to hunter or from explorer to be a builder. Because yes, at one point of time, ideas needs to have traction, has to be implemented. Otherwise, it will be on the shelf. It needs to be expressed. So be aware there are 4 types of innovators: hunters, builders, explorers, experimenters. Right. Can you, yeah. I will come to a topic which is very important. Again, coming back to your own personal way of looking things, your attitude, and how that attitude translates into the organization's stance. The research has been done, and there are 2 types of people: a fixed mindset and agile mindset. This is a new vocabulary which has been introduced in the world now, and I'm sure India is also following that in the large corporations. A fixed mind says that I believe everything is fixed, nothing changes. You're intelligent and you can do this, and that's fixed. You can't do much more than that. You don't see past what is being given to you. It is given. There's an assumption you have in your mind, and things will remain the same. There's no option or openness of you to take change. Any criticism you get, you don't take it in a positive sense to say how I can build it, because one person has a fixed mindset. It is all locked in, there will be no change. Versus an agile mindset that always you try to experiment. Don't take the failure as a, saying you pass or fail or whatever the mark comes. There is no such thing as pass and fail. It is continuously learning, experimenting, refining, having an hypothesis, having a scientific mind to keep experimenting. This is a agile mindset. And organizations are tapping into that agile mindset. They want to actually tap into your creative minds and the thinking of art of possible. What are the opportunities your mind can think which is innately creative? How you can build on what existing products and services are there. And that comes back to your agile mindset, not only in organization context, but in your personal life as well. That it is never that you have reached a pinnacle, that is it. No, you should not take that more fixed thinking. It is always organically growing. It is always agile. So that growth mindset brings your viewfinder of your attitude to absorb and be receptive to whoever brings new changes or new innovation or new ideas. You challenge it, you experiment it, you build on it. That feedback loop keeps happening. And there's a very scientific and a science way of looking at things. So you have to shift from fixed to agile. And then you see that anything, wherever, if you feel in your mindset is unsuccessful, there's no word as unsuccessful. ऐसा कोई शब्द ही नहीं है कि मेरे को ड्राइविंग नहीं आती तो ये मैं फिक्स माइंडसेट. No, I will keep trying in small steps, take baby steps, but you will be much better than what you were yesterday. तो ये अपना माइंडसेट बहुत important है in being an innovator or in innovation way of doing things, and also in your personal life, that you never get disappointed, but you keep trying and embracing the challenge. Now, with this fixed mindset and organic mindset, this is a organizational structure which you would be walking into once you complete your Master of Business Administration, which will make you a holistic person, not only from the discipline you are coming, but it will give you a business savviness. It will broaden your mind. I had that experience when I did in Adelaide. That 4 years was my best time of my life, that it opened up me to different disciplines: organization behavior, economics, financial accounting, and product management. You can even have anything which you would feel that you want to specialize as well. But how organization is, there are multiple functions. HR is there, finance is there, there is risk and management there, the product management is there, there's a ERP, which is the factories and manufacturing. So how do you actually put your arms around so many moving parts? And if you have a fixed mindset, very mechanistic, then you are going to, have a pyramid type of organizational structure. There's a chief executive, then there's our middle management team, and then of course people who are doing the work in the ground. It might be finance, it could be in the factory, it could be in the HR. So it's very much a sort of a old way of doing things. This is very much good for people in the military, command and control. They are also changing, and that is what the pyramid shows. But now there has been a shift across the world into a very organism way of organizing ourselves, meaning biology has come into play. That we have cells, we have a product team which is comprising of a product manager, a designer, and an engineer, a tester, and the client sitting together. I know one of the banks, one of the largest banks, and I think banks are very conservative. They have dismantled pyramid system. They say we will flatten it, we will make it a cell-based structure, and we will have all our current account, loans, investments. These will be teams which are bringing multi-disciplines, multi-SMEs, subject matter experts onto one table, and they will design systems according to what the customer wants and then translate that into automation. But they are together, and every 2 weeks they are coming out with new features and functions. Think of the old way of pyramid. There will be a decision making. Somebody will put a business case. It will go through up the hierarchy, and then the funding happens. No, in this new way, you have to embrace change, adapt, be on the ball, one step ahead, even not 10 steps ahead. Because of this industrial revolution, the change has become very fast. You need to have a growth mindset. You cannot have fixed, otherwise you'll be left behind. So the new organization behavior is a very flattened, it is a cellular, it is borrowing from biology, it is flexible, it is resilient, and it is not, there's no such thing as a failure. It is learning and keep learning that yes, you are coming to the goal, but there are certain steps you might be missing. You're learning from it, and how best you learn yourself personally then becomes a learning organization. So you get the picture, being in your mindset, being open to change. Then you are more innovative and more creative. You have a growth-oriented way of things. Industrial revolution, which is an external, beyond your control, which you are under that whole environment or whole industry, you cannot influence. Either you get onto the train or be left behind. So from mechanistic way of working, and you should look for organizations which are like this, which are innovative, have flattened structure, because you can get more experience faster, you can get more self-fulfillment. Ultimately, the driver is your self-fulfillment. And I'll talk about more of self-fulfillment in the next slides. So to give you some examples, the bank started by Cosimo Medici. There is a lot of articles on this in 1397 going back. Yeah. The person did not even know that this will become a revolution, and everywhere there's a bank, financial transaction is part and parcel for living. And this is how his approach was to reduce friction, that there is an intermediary, and trust will be built, and two buyers and suppliers sellers can transact and trust each other, because there's in between a person or a bank, which is a big building, showing trust, showing authority, and saying, okay, we guarantee that the person will, whatever the money has been given, will be honored, and the product will be given, and that is according to what the spec says. So that has evolved so much now that it is AI-driven. Bank 4.0 is much more customer-centric. You have net banking, which is in your wallet, in your phone. So this is a use case of bank being very conservative, has been brought dragging their feet into something which is very innovative. If they do not returns on investment, rather than just giving you a credit card, it can actually now with AI knowledge to that, rather than a credit card where you take a loan and you pay your loan, the interest again and again. This has turned to make you wealthier and give you all the information to build on. So, savings account, it is now giving you behavioral tools rather than just opening an account and then standing in the queue as if you are, asking for a loan, even though your bank, you have your own savings account. Such a long queue. Nobody goes to the branch nowadays. Nowadays, there are certain fintech companies who are actually giving the run for the money for the bank to say, you cannot be like a habit, tell you, where, what savings you have, how much you can afford, where you should put the investment, and so on and so forth, and make you a plan that you can retire comfortably. So, there are a lot of innovation which is happening. Life insurance, they can tell you from your DNA, of your longevity and where you could go, improving your life expectancies and going right, left, and center, where you can have your app which can tell you, your health records, which is your personal information, going from one hospital and doctor to different doctors, so that you don't repeat the test and so on and so forth. And also you can analyze and be much more healthier. So these things are, being changed from very much innovative, one more unique, and you need to think of different use cases where you can apply your creativity. Going to Stanford, I want to that core capabilities. You never know what the turn is. It's like going to a jungle. You never know which turn you're going to get a wild animal which will attack you. But you are actually ready for that because you are having a growth mindset. Right? How much time is remaining, Harshal? Because I can. Right. So learn from others.
15 minutes more, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Learn from others. Again, growth mindset. I have built this because I've set the stage for you to say that if you are open to learning, if you have a growth mindset, you will be more collaborative. And that's reality in any organization when you go. They will ask, how can you work in a team? Because the organization structure has changed from a very pyramid based to a very much flattened cellular, and how you work with others and build on each other's ideas is what is looked into, and that is part of building your innovative and creative capability. This is where it comes. Every time you think of something going wrong, you're learning from it. It's not a wrong, it's a learning experience. Synthesize the information where you pull in, like in MBA, when you have gone through the whole course. You have to synthesize from economics, from your finance, from your HR, from your technology product, from strategy, how you actually bring all that into something which creates a new mutant, a new innovative product or service. That synthesizing information is that you are ready to change. Experiment. Keep experiment not only in organization, in your life as well. Try. If you don't try and know whether it's just right or wrong, you will be making the same mistakes. Experiment will always take you away from pass or fail. That vocabulary should be thrown in the dustbin because it's an experiment. You are in the chemistry lab. You are doing all the putting litmus test and acid or alkali and all that, and you keep adding different combination of chemicals, experimenting towards a goal. Move between concrete and abstract. Sometimes you have to see that, yes, you need some stability, then you iterate, and then you have another stability, and it is iterative. But from outside, you need to see the big picture, which is abstract, then come to your concrete terms. So you expand your viewfinder, then you close it into small. It's like a two circles. First circle is the discovery, expansion. You see everything through the lens of the customer and all the whole ecosystem. Then you narrow it down to something which is you can action it into one feature for product, or savings account has got a lot of analytics in it. You release that, learn it, and then iterate. Build and craft intentionally. It's craft, it's build. You're professionals. You have to look at it as a sharpshooter. That when you take something, some job, you do it with a professional. You are not being watched, or nobody is giving you marks. It's your own value system. That you want to become the master of what the art you have got, your technology, your discipline. Communicate deliberately. Communication is the key in the real world. Without that, you are in your own silo, on your own cocoon, because collaboration is required when the organization has become flatter. Design your design work. You have to design what you are going to plan. It is by design you have innovation. By design you have security. By design you have flexibility. So you have that science mindset that you have got parameters, you measure it, you manage it, you improve on it. So these are the 8 core capabilities which Stanford has promoted through the design thinking, and I use it in our software development, where we go and map the customer journey, we do the interview, and then we say, how does the machine actually interact with men, of people, man and machine? And that journey will tell us, if you buy a ticket at the metro, a senior citizen will find it difficult to punch numbers and this and that. And we watch that. We see a young person who's very savvy. There's no need to give, a lot of instruction. So we have to cater to different taste, different levels of maturity and so on and so forth, and have a machine which actually automates that and helps in this customer experience. Improve that and bring innovation to play. So this is the moonshot from Elon Musk, a rocket which he can reuse and again. So he has stretched the imagination, and that's my effort here, to broaden as much as possible what you have, that the world is in the grips of 4th industrial revolution. All presidents and prime ministers right around the world are looking into it and developing their workforce and skill set. And India is not behind. It's in the forefront. All the best minds, all the chief executives are from India. Think of Google, Microsoft. I can keep on naming. So we have this talent which we need, and it has the best platform. It's the world is your oyster. So imagination is the only limitation, as Einstein said. Now coming to my favorite topic, blockchain technology. This is another revolution happening now as part of industrial revolution. Go back to the GFC, global financial crisis. A lot of banks got busted. You talk of London, you talk of New York, talk of, there was some impact in Mumbai, of course. No one was immune to it. So Nakamoto is one fictitious person who developed a blockchain where you do not require a bank to transact. No bank, a bankless financial transaction. Can you think of that? And there's no intermediary in the supply chain. When a buyer wants a product, straight goes to seller. There's no handoffs to settlement and then go into, different people in that, and then there's duplication of paperwork. You can send, at the moment when you send email, you send images, you can send text and all that. Imagine you can send value. That's what blockchain can do. You can send money through email without feeling from India to Sydney. You can send it to somebody. I'll take it because there is a blockchain in between, which is a trustless, trustworthy, a decentralized network. Trustless, trustworthy. It's a paradox. But yes, you can trust it because the way it is being built. And this is from economists. It's a trust machine. It's the world computer which you can run. So it's another innovation from very much client server, where you have a mainframe, mid-range, a desktop, where I have gone through the paces of this whole innovation or from one technology leap to another. This is another one beyond internet. Internet has got all this crap there, but once you have blockchain, you can build your whole organization to be a full-blown digital business. You can come to the whole cloud rather than being in the data center. You can bring your finance, you can sell your products and services, and with a switch of a button, a flick of a button, you can transfer things without even blinking your eye that the other person is untrustworthy. So blockchain is actually dismantling the intermediaries, whoever are like banks and supply chain, even governments are being under a lot of threat that the whole power has come back to the people because of this blockchain technology. Your data is now in Facebook, is being sold. Google, others. Later on in blockchain, you can say, I will share my data with such and such person. You have the control of it. You can monetize it. You can have your privacy. Of course, you have Aadhaar, which has been one of the fantastic innovations in the world. Everybody looks at 1.2 billion people having a database. And, your personal information is there, your ID is there. Blockchain does also that in a decentralized world, and you can have it in your wallet, in your mobile smartphone, your ID, and you can share it for authenticating yourself and transferring money. Rather than having lots of other information with the government, you can control that, and everybody will trust that. That's the technology which is you are going to see going forward, and a lot of organizations are architecting towards a decentralized world, an open world, open to change, agile world, and that's how things are going. Few more examples I want to give you. There are other trends which is sparking in 2020. As with the COVID, we are working from home. There's a lot of home built. Zooms are being used. A lot of remote working tools are used. So there's a lot of innovation happening there. Personalized healthcare is very much important, as we are having quantum computing, which is just on the doorstep, will help in precision medicine, which will take your genetics and tell you exactly what medicine will help you. Can anticipate with 6 months or a year more than that you need to take care and be much more proactive rather than reactive. You can avoid any health, any situation where you can get a disease by having that personalized. So there's a lot of innovation happening. Autonomous vehicles, you have seen that there's driverless train, there is driverless buses, there's driverless cars, and you name it, every car companies is coming through driverless or autonomous vehicles, where information, IoT information, IoT is Internet of Things, and blockchain technology and others are driving these machines, and it will help old people. The car will come at home, you can get it, there's no driver, and it will work 24/7. So there's a different, the machines are now working and supporting the machine, so you can control it by programming it, and it will release you to do something else much better and go up the value chain. Mindfulness culture, people are, mind is what is your best instrument at your disposal. You need to have that in the top condition. A growth mindset, open to change, experimenting, having a positive attitude. This will work with you to flourish and feel fulfilled in what you're doing. Changes in higher education, employment. Instead of universities, there's now micro courses. You can have your courses at home from the best universities, and then you can get more skill set. The whole open world is open because of now remote and IT. Sharing experiences, privacy, we spoke about privacy, sharing experiences, collaborative mindset. We can have a shopping experience where we can share, what is a good product or good company or good, your from your personal perspective, you can get your family and community involved in it because of technology. Cross-generation techies, the senior people are also now taking another bite of the cherry. After retirement, there's no retirement. How you refire after retirement is now happening. So there is a lot of cross-pollination here, and we are getting experience and wisdom from our senior citizens. Improving financial literacy. There's another innovation happening in the finance, as I said, that startups are coming and giving the run for the money to bank to say, no, we will improve our financial literacy for people to be, the last billion people in the world to be part of the whole banking system so that they can come out of the poverty, shift their financial habits to much more better investment. At all in all, not only you improve your family life, gender balance, but the whole country itself. So these are the trends which you can, leverage and think and put some effort and come out with unique solutions. As I'm from IT, I want to share with you a Gartner, which is a think tank or a forward thinker, a consulting firm. Just as I said, people-centric smart spaces. I mentioned about automation, multi-experience, VR, virtual reality, augmented reality, democratization, the blockchain technology. A lot of people can come into it. You are going to use the technology to improve how you work in your work life. There's a lot of augmentation you can use from AI to help you to be much more productive. Traceability, you can trace everything. Like when you buy, say, go to a McDonald's, you will know exactly where it has been sourced, the source material. And you will know what you're putting in your mouth. It's contaminated, or whether that supplier has been, health hazards were there, or health, they have failed the health test or the hygiene test, and so on and so forth. You could know where this cloth was stitched, or this pant was stitched, or boot was stitched. So, there is a lot of transparency and traceability, and that is very important to protect from fraud, piracy, and so on and so forth. So, as the last 5 minutes, I just want to say this, that change is constant, and your dreams and aspiration should not be for a product or a service. It should be aligned to a mission. And what I mean by mission or purpose, climate change, bringing that you can go to beyond Mars, or bringing something which will help the refugees, or something which will help you to fight this health pandemic. A sustainability, how you can bring corporate social responsibility in improving the lives of the people, that they don't spoil the environment and health. Health is such important, as we all know now. So you align your whole aspiration to a mission and purpose, and I'll tell you, it will pull you to a different trajectory, and you keep experimenting and getting towards that. And that is iterative, and hopefully this makes you unstoppable. Be unstoppable. Whether if you can't run, if you can't fly, run. If you can't run, crawl. But keep moving and be ahead of the curve. So with that, I will hand over the mic and ask if you have any questions. And I wish you all the success. And I want that you bring your personal creativity and your own aspiration, dream it and achieve it. Your one life, make useful. Try to have your own unique value proposition and give it a shot. As I started, my aspiration was to be a physician. I digressed into IT. I stumbled into it. I have never looked back. And there's more to be done. So everything is digital business. The world is waiting for you. So with that, thank you very much and all the best.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I would request Deepti Bajpai Madam to offer the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Priya. Hi, Deepti.
Dear students, do you have any questions? Dear students, do you have any questions to ask to the resource person?
No, ma'am.
I think everybody is mulling over, thinking about it, and and guys, I would encourage you all to always live on the edge. Whatever you feel that is challenge, take it on because you'll feel very good and fulfilled that you have made a difference. Come whatever situations are. Put people on the spot, ask questions, grill them. You have a different point of view. And that makes everyone more progressive and the country progressive. Sorry, Deepti?
Dipti ma'am?
All right. I think we will, yeah, go on, sorry.
So thanks a lot for this wonderful session. I think Dipti, ma'am, due to technical glitches, she's not able to join. She's not even responding.
Ma'am, am I audible now?
Yes, now you're audible, ma'am. Yes.
Okay. Uh, Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for a wonderful, amazing session. I think actually the participants are thinking over those learning quotes. I would like to thank you for taking us through your life experience, inspiring and motivating us through beautiful life changing quotes, providing insights into the fourth industrial revolution and how men and machine are coming closer. The simplicity with which you explained the innovation chart, the differentiation between a fixed and agile mindset. I'm sure the aspiring managers have a lot of key takeaways like learning and keep learning. Innovation is finding the gap, developing the core capabilities. Every one of you are creative, having a growth mindset, learning to work in a team, and so many more takeaways. I mean, I'm falling short of words to mention those takeaways, but I would really like to extend a heartfelt gratitude to you, sir, for sparing time and inspiring the young minds. Thank you so much, sir.
Many thanks, Dipti. Many thanks to IICMR to give me the opportunity to meet my new friends. And we look forward to having future more interactions. I take away I can't see them, but I feel that we have this new generation which will take our nation to the next level. And it's in the right institute. I have read about your organization. I think we are in the right place in the right time with right experts and teachers. So thank you very much, Dipti, in summarizing the key points. And I thank you very much all for this opportunity. With that, we can close this session.
So thanks a lot, sir. When you're coming to India, you have to visit our institute and enlighten our students on blockchain also, sir.
Definitely, definitely. My ancestry goes to Pune. My grandfather's mother was Savarkar. I can't speak fluent Marathi. I was itching to say something, but I will. It's a must to come to Pune now, as I've got new friends there. So yes, thank you for the invitation.
Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Hmm.
Good morning, Rizwan. This is
Good
Manisha.
morning.
Manisha Kulkarni, heading the department. How are
Yes,
you?
I'm fine, ma'am. Thank you. How are you?
Great, sir. Anxious to listen from you.
Yes.
Hi.